Okay, so I wanted to jump in and make a quick, very, very quick tutorial on Airbnb, the platform, and just show you the basics of how it works. That way, if anybody is, looking at co-hosting jobs, or even if you're a host or trying to get into hosting, this might be helpful for you. Also, you're going to have to excuse my voice. I've had a little bit of a cold this past week, so still recovering from that. But okay, so let's get into it. So this is your Airbnb platform, and it's airbnb.com/hosting is going to be the link that you want to get you over to the hosting side. If you have an Airbnb account already and you've used it for guests, like you're the one traveling and you're staying, then you're going to need to switch. You can have a guest profile and a hosting profile, if that makes sense. So you're going to want the hosting side. So when I when I log in, it's just going to say welcome back, your name. I do have a property in here, but it's unavailable right now. So I don't even think, I don't have any like calendar or anything like that. I'm going to be putting my house on Furnished Finder because I'm about to be doing some traveling. So I have blocked everything out for the meantime because I don't want someone to book it and then that mess up my plans. So but I do have my tiny house listing in here, so I can show you that. Okay, so it'll tell you whatever you have going on will be on this front page, right, when you log in. Now, I'm not an expert, but I'm just going to show you the features that I use. Airbnb, it's very simple to use their platform, and I'll do another video about VRBO, but you'll see when you get started that certain platforms are easier to use than others. Airbnb, thankfully, is one that is very easy. So you're going to have your inbox. This is going to be all of your past communications with guests. So everything will be logged in here. So, and then that's pretty self-explanatory. And then you have a calendar, and this has your listing. So if you have multiple listings, it's going to have them all stacked right here, and it'll have your calendar. And then I'll show you an important part for your calendar as far as when you list the property. If you have it listed on VRBO or Booking.com and Airbnb, you are going to want to sync those calendars together. That way somebody can't book it on Airbnb and then someone else is coming from VRBO and your property gets double booked. So I will show you that in this video as well. Let's go to your insights. I never really look at these. Sometimes it's kind of interesting, I guess, to look at, but it'll tell you like allow pets at your place. I don't allow pets. Add a crib. I don't typically allow kids or babies either because it would be a hazard at my house. So it'll tell you like what to do, but it'll also tell you what you have set up. So I have instant book on. I've added all my kind of basics, and everything here that you see is that I'm scrolling through is stuff that you add when you create the listing. So if the listing has already been added and created, then a lot of this will probably already be done. But you can go through here and just play around. I mean, I don't ever really use the insights hardly at all. What I do use is going to be on your menu over here. Go to your listing. So this is the only listing I have up right now. Like I said, I have the calendar blocked off, but I at least still have it in the platform. And just so you guys know, Airbnb is something I do part-time. It's not my full-time job. I don't have 30 properties up on the site. I do a lot of other things as well. So Airbnb is just a side passive income for me. So let's look at, here's your title of your listing. There's all your photos. I know you guys are kind of getting like a in-depth look at my listing here, but there's kind of everything you want to put, all your description. And when you set this up, take time to, set it up right, really put in, when it comes to the listing description, all those are going to be using keywords. So put what you're close to, what the city has to offer. And if you need help, look at other listings, like go on the Airbnb guest side of things and look at other listings and read people's descriptions. And you can tell, what makes a good description and what makes a not so great description. So you can change everything here. Yeah, you have your custom link. You have all your amenities. I mean, you can scroll down and you can kind of see, beds, baths. All this is just, stuff you can go in and edit. You can change the pictures, all that. Something I wanted to show you. Oh, the first thing was the co-host. So just to make sure you saw that. So I'm on menu and I'm on listing. That shows you my listing, and I click on the listing. And then at the bottom here, there's co-hosts. So click that button, and this is how you get added as a co-host. Or if you are a host and you're adding somebody as a co-host, that's where you go to do it. So I'm obviously the listing admin, and I host and I manage my own property, so I don't have a co-host. But you can add a co-host, that button right there. Okay, so that's how you do that. And then let's go back to our listing. Let me try to remember how to do this. Policies and rules, pricing and availability. Okay, I think this is where it is. Okay, so if you have your property listed on VRBO and Airbnb and other platforms, you're going to want to sync those calendars together so you don't get double booked. So that is under your pricing and availability, and then go to calendar sync. And it's going to have, obviously I have mine linked with VRBO because right now I only use Airbnb and VRBO. I've never used booking.com or HomeAway or anything else. So that's what, the only ones that I use currently. So, but if you had it on other platforms, then they would all show here. It would say which calendars you have synced. Now you have to do this twice. You have to go onto vrbo.com, and you have to, they have a different process, so I can show that later, but you have to do the same thing. You have to import your Airbnb calendar into VRBO. And then here on Airbnb, you have to import your VRBO calendar over to Airbnb. So you have to do it twice. You can't just import one, because then Airbnb will have your VRBO calendar, but VRBO won't have your Airbnb calendar, if that makes sense. So you do have to do it on both platforms, import, the other platform's calendar. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to cover. But under here, as you just scroll down, like I said, go through this and play with it. And you can even create like a fake listing if you want to. Just take a couple random pictures or pictures of your house, go into Airbnb and create a listing as if you were a host. You can, you don't have to put a description, you don't have to put a title, you can, make it where no one's going to book that property, but then you can at least play around and just go through and figure out, because it takes some time to set up, because you have to go through down each of these things, your check-in time, your check-out time, your directions to the place, the Wi-Fi, all this is just stuff that, you can spend as much time as you want doing. So anyway, so that helps. And you have all this other stuff. I've never used any of this, to be honest. Connect with hosts near you. It sounds like it might be pretty cool, but I've never done any of that. So, if you do create a fake listing, or if you have a listing, go through and just, play around and get used to the platform if you want to do that. That way you kind of know what's up. So hopefully that helped everybody. Sorry, I know I can hear my voice is really terrible, but I don't know if anyone else can hear. So sorry about that. But yeah, and then I'll do another video on the VRBO platform. It's a little different. I don't like using it as much. Honestly, Airbnb is my go-to. But yeah, I'll do one on there and show you a little bit of kind of what I know, which is very limited. So hope that helps.